Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Malak Yabushad, double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yabushad. A hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting the body as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're studying, they're praying, they're fasting, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwat out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding down the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to everybody tuning in live. Slaki shalom to Slaki, bear with me. K-Rock the Don, Ancients New, Why Don't We? Jeremiah Ben Israel, We Got Next Israel, T. Sellers, Nahum Yasha Allah, Shalom King, Salah Judah, Maka Allah Yasha Allah, Shalom, Paul, Shalom, Mox Nick, Shalom, and Shalom to everybody else tuning in and that will tune in. All praise to Yahweh Shemiah Bashai. The topic of this cold cut is before camp warning, World War III draws nigh. Right? Before camp warning, World War III draws nigh. And I want to kick it off with the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. I'm going to actually pull it up on the screen. Right? So let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Brothers have been watching and seeing what's going on. Most willing, man, things kick off between China and Babylon the Great, man. Most willing. Here you have a great provoking coming from Babylon the Great. And sometimes they say, you know, we're scared. Sometimes they'll say we don't give a damn about what China says. But right now you got World War III. Really, damn near most willing can kick off, man. That things can really speed up, depending on the next several days on how things are moving. And if brothers aren't in the loop, I'm gonna get you in the loop. Right, Joel chapter 3 and verse 8 and 9. I'm gonna start at 9. Proclaim ye this. Make sure this is showing. Okay, come on. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So the Most High is about war. If anybody knows Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he's always regarded as a king that leads an army into battle. Right? The Most High is a man of war. We know that pursuant to the classic in Exodus chapter 15. The Most High, like we always say, Salaki, he's not a god of lollipops, dandelions, fundraisers, and donuts, man. Right? The Most High, he is a man of war. David was a man of war. Abraham was a man of war. We are men of war. So you're always going to have in war. Like we always bring out, it's not always bombs, missiles, and planes. It's like your war is also internal. War can be the spirit against the flesh. War can be you fighting this truth. War can be you dealing with adversity. Anything when you have two opposing parties and they're conflicting and they're against one another, that's war. Exodus 15 and 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Right? So the Most High is a man of war, and the Most High is going to show you he's a man of war. All you Christians who have thought that God is a God of all love, and in him is the Most High can't kill, and the Most High doesn't destroy nations, you're going to find out who Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is, man. As World War III draws nigh, as China is on the verge of shooting down top American officials, man. Right? And like I said, for brothers that don't know, we're going to get you in the loop. This won't be a real long cold cut, but we're going to get brothers informed most I will. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and 15. Thine almighty word leapt down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. And this happened during the time of Egypt. Right, the land of destruction was the land of Egypt that was destroyed by plagues of darkness, hell mixed with fire, locusts, boils, water in the blood, frogs, flies, lice, etc. And when it was time for the death of the firstborn, the Lord, Yahweh, the destroyer, leaped out of his throne as a fierce man of war into a land that was destroyed. You see that? So we know that Yahweh and Yahweh, they are men of war. They are men of armed battle, conflict, swords. You understand? Guns, drones. And the Most High has always been about war. You've had war from the time of old, man. The Lord even left. No, I'm kind of moving fast. I'm getting excited. The Most High even had nations just reserved for Israel to learn war from. Right? This is Abraham went to war. Judges 3:1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. So the Lord literally left nations in the land of Canaan that we could fight against just so we can learn war. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war. At least such as before knew nothing thereof. So the Lord wants our men to learn war. So he said, what's the best way to teach my people war? We'll just leave some people in the land of Canaan just so they could fight against. Learn, sharpen a sword. So the Lord kind of left Canaanites in it so we could kill them, right? So we could learn how to use that sword and how to thrust through and slice the head and besiege cities. So the Most High has always been about war. There's an entire book in the Bible recorded that we may not have, that we don't have today, called the Book of the Wars of the Lord. Right? This is Numbers chapter 21 and 14. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon. So the Most High, there's documented wars that we may not know of, certain battles, certain deaths, of spiritual power that the Most High used in Egypt and in other ancient accounts. There's a book called the Book of the Wars of the Lord. Where's the book called the Book of Hugs? Okay, I bear hug, tight hug, you rub your back. Okay, in the Book of Dandelions and the ones you blow with the white thing and they go all over, and the Book of the bubbles, you dip the little thing in the bubble mix and you move it around and you make bubbles. The Book of the Most High don't have those things, man. Them soft, effeminate things, man. The Book of Cotton Candy, and the Most High put it in the machine and you put the little stick in there and it's making the cotton candy. Then the Lord take it out, then he give it to the kids. No, the Most High has a book called the Book of the Wars of the Lord. That doesn't sound like white Jesus, man. That sounds like the Most High God Yahweh, Basham Yahushua. And this is why the Most High said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Who are the Gentiles? These other nations. The so-called white man, so-called Chinese man, the so-called Japanese man, the so-called Arab man, etc. He's literally telling them to prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So nations that were inferior, nations that were once not a major threat, they're now acquiring technology to make nuclear weapons. They're now standing up to America in the midst of America's great bullying and terrorism over the earth and global dominance. The Lord has nations literally stepping up to America and saying, hey, guess what? You're not the only one with missiles. We don't fear you anymore. This is not 1940 anymore, man. Where America had a monopoly on atomic technology after the Manhattan Project, and they were able to drop atomic bombs, and no other nation can look at them and say, oh, wow, we can take them down too. Every nation feared America at one point in time. China wasn't relevant during the days of 1940, 1935, World War I. Iran wasn't relevant. Those were weak powers. But these nations that were once inferior, they're beginning to, North Korea, like the brother said, North Korea, who would have thought North Korea would be talking that talk to America? You know, now these nations say, hey, look, we got it too. The weapons you had, we have them too. And like I said, there was a time, even the Bible records, of the so-called white man really having a monopoly on the technology and putting fear within these other inferior nations, right? I mean, just ridiculing them, calling them third world countries, just mocking them. But what did the Most High say? This Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Who's that speaking about? America. The two horns like a lamb is his religion and his politics. That's how he portrays himself, as being a peaceable, democratic, God-fearing superhero and police of the world. So when there's any terrorist that he set up, or any militia or any global distress, America puts that cape on. They step in the name of Jesus and democracy, and they solve the world's problems. That's how America portrays themselves. Right? We're going to take down bin Laden. Right? We're going to take down Saddam Hussein. We're going to crush, we're going to go and destroy the weapons of mass destruction. So they'll portray themselves as a lamb, a peaceable country, a docile, loving country, But really, they speak as a dragon. So they're really harvesting oil, sex trafficking kids, taking guns, oil, bringing in drugs and opium and cocaine, rape, robbery, and murdering, putting out hitmen on political leaders, assassinating officials, enslaving them with the Federal Reserve notes and their economic system. So they speak as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. So he moves in the same spirit as the Roman Empire, right? That same military might, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So they're going to move in the same spirit as that Roman Empire. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And we know the so-called white man did that. Now he had Fat Boy and Little Man. Right? It was a fat man and Little Boy, one of those. Right? These were his bombs that he dropped. Right? The Manhattan Project is what really fueled Revelation 13 and 13. The fire coming down from heaven represents his atomic and nuclear technology. And that's a great wonder. And there was a time when really the beast, America, they had that power. They still have it, but they were the only ones to have it. Before 1945, it was unheard of that fire could fall down from heaven. It was just a myth. Just a dream, something that these nations have never seen before, and they had these bombs, man, Fat Boy and Little Man, that were designed during the Manhattan Project, which really was a project set up by German and American scientists to make atomic bombs, to come up with a technology, which they really got from the spiritual demon Satan. And they dropped on Nagasaki, and they, they caused hell, man. You can look up videos and see the devastation of these atomic bombs and the radiation that they caused. So here's Fat Boy and Little Man. These are these bombs that they dropped. Right? Now, if you look up fire from heaven, that's what you call nuclear, well, I'll type in atomic bomb. But really, it's let's see. Really now it's the nuclear bomb, but back then it was the atomic bomb, right? And this was the fire coming down from heaven, right? And people literally thought there are actual documentaries. You can watch them out on your own, or interviews where they interviewed people from Japan who survived the atomic bomb, and they said they literally thought fire was coming down from heaven. They saw a flash, a fire, and they thought it came from heaven, and it started wiping out everything. And this is the technology that Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai has given the so-called white man. Right? Let's go to, like, and the brother pulled the precept in Isaiah 9 and 5. Right? Let's get that in Isaiah 9. Right? And the Most High speaks about the nuclear bombs all throughout the Bible, but they're called the arrows of the Lord. Right? You can read about them in Psalms, Isaiah, 2nd Esdras. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So ancient battles had elephants, drums, trumpets, people screaming, people saying, my arm, right? People screaming because they're getting stabbed, complete uproar. And you had garments rolled in blood. Men got cut, their blood was on their garment. They may have stabbed somebody and blood gushed out on their garment. So you had ancient warfare. But this warfare is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. Right? Burning and fuel of fire. Let's go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Right? These are fundamental precepts. But we have to go over these precepts again so brothers understand this is going to be the judgment from on high. Right? This is what the Most High made the missiles. This is not something that the so-called white man created with his own understanding. The Heavenly Father has given him technology to create weapons to fulfill Bible prophecy. You know, at the end of the day anyway. Zechariah chapter 14, Slakia, in verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh, and this is the 2/3, right? This is the other nations. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So the Most High is telling you what the effect of this technology is going to have upon the wicked, man. He's literally letting you know what's happening. Your eyes are going to melt. And what weapon can cause this? This isn't the effect of a bow and an arrow or of a sword, or even, you know, they would take arrows and dip them in tar and then fire and then light them. That's not what this is going into. This is the direct result of nuclear radiation and nuclear destruction. This is the power that the so-called white man has, and now these other nations have it. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 22. Then I want to actually go into what's going on in the world. Right? Let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 22 and verse 20. It reads, I'm going to start at 19. Ezekiel chapter 22 and 19. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because ye are all become dross. Behold, therefore, I will gather you in the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. Check this out. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. So the Lord is going to start melting people, man. He has technology that can melt you. When you melt something, you turn it from a solid to a liquid in process of time. Just look at ice that melts, right? Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in a fire of my wrath. So the fire of his wrath is nuclear fire. And ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. So the Lord is going to melt people, man, with this technology. Let's see. Here's the definition of melt. To make or become liquefied by heat. The Lord is going to liquefy people, man. Right? He's going to liquefy you. It is going to be a puddle of damn blood, man. Brothers are going to start getting liquefied by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, man. You know, you're going to be melted by this nuclear technology. Right? Let's see, melt. Right? So this was going to happen to brothers, man. You're going to be melted. And that's literal. That's literal. Like melted butter. Right? Jakes, brothers, you know about that melted butter. You take that butter, you leave it out, you throw it in that skillet, right? You're going to be like melted butter. That's going to be all your blood and your skin and your bones. And this is you melting from that nuclear fire and that nuclear heat, man. You know? So let's go back to Joel, the 3rd chapter. And that's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said, beat your plowshares into swords. So a plowshare is an agricultural instrument used for farming and harvesting. It's going to be turned into a sword. Meaning what? Nations are going to come out of this agricultural workflow lifestyle and become warlike nations. You understand? And when you have drafts and you have a conscription and you have nations who once lived an archaic lifestyle, they're going to acquire technology to be able to have these weapons. Right? And that's going to give them confidence to say, hold on, we're not who you thought we were. We're finally strong now. You know? And you have China right now on the verge of getting ready for war. Look at this. 18 hours ago, China moving military equipment to Fujian. They're literally moving military equipment as we speak. China has said, if Nancy, for brothers that's been watching, I believe they say if Nancy Pelosi travels to Taiwan, we will shoot her plane down and kill her. That's what they said. Now you can say, well, Naquam, you're making that up. I don't believe that. That would never happen. Nancy Pelosi, she's invincible. She's an Edomite. Why would you wish death upon her? Well, look, I didn't say that. I mean, that's what the Moabites are saying. Huh? The Moabites are saying if she travels to, in America, some of them are like reluctant and apprehensive about it, saying, look, don't go. But a lot of them said, man, China ain't about it. So I want to see what happens. And a lot of America, they're on the edge of their seat. They're waiting to see what happens. Now, America, they could, I'm going to use the right word, they could punk out and say, okay, look, Nancy Pelosi, she has something that came up. Something came up. She got sick. She ate a bad tuna sandwich. She wasn't able to make it. Which really means, okay, China, look, you got it. We don't want no smoke. It's your world. Or they could say, man, China ain't about nothing. They're gonna send her on the first round trip and send it to Taiwan and China. These Moabites, they gonna have to make a move. I believe these Moabites, they don't bluff, right? And they may shoot that plane down. Now, if they shoot that plane down, it's obvious that America's gonna have to retaliate. And if they retaliate to China, Russia, which is one of China's biggest allies, is going to get involved. And brothers, you see where this is going. It's a never-ending hole of destruction. And then Iran is going to get involved. And then NATO is going to get involved. And at any given second, World War III could kick off. And I get excited. These are exciting times. I'm going to be damn scrolling, hitting that refresh button, clicking the damn button, refreshing it. Look at this. 40 seconds ago from Taiwan. See that? The elder sent me. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. Now check this out. See, I'm getting so excited. I got so much I want to pull up. Now, this is from right, let me turn this off so we can see better. Right, now check this out. The elder sent. This is from Daily Sabah. That's what the Moabite, the king of Moab, said. Those who play with fire will perish by it. That's what he warned Biden. So they're not playing games, man. They are not playing games. Those who play with fire will perish by it. So we're going to see. We're going to see if he's all talk. Somebody got to call each other's bluff, or somebody got to stop bluffing and just do what you got to do. Press the button. Press the button. Moab, stop talking and make something happen. Because you've been talking about damn Taiwan for so long, you ain't do nothing about it, man. Right? Make it happen. Let's see. According to an outline of the call released by Beijing, there says he emphasized China's claim over the island, which has governed itself for decades. Here's this quote: "Those who play with fire will perish by it," said the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is hoped that the U.S. will be clear-eyed about this. Right? So this thing is real, man. This thing is getting real. So let's pull this back up. For Taiwan, Pelosi visit is about U.S. China controlling risk. I want to show. Look at this. China puts on a show of naval force ahead of Nancy Pelosi's possible Taiwan visit. They're letting you know, do not come here. Look at this. China conducts live fire military exercise near Taiwan. I think she's on her way over there. According to Terror Alarm, I will have to corroborate this. They're saying a U.S. Air Force plane carrying Nancy Pelosi landed in Hawaii for refueling. Right? So there people are tracking this. We're going to see. That's from 3 minutes ago. Now, like I said, we're going to have to corroborate and get multiple witnesses to see if this thing is true. But if she's on her way over there and, people are monitoring this, that means, this thing may go down. Like I said, we don't know, right? They did, okay, we're going to Hawaii. Okay, the plane stopped working. Maybe next year we'll go over there. We don't know how Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to have this thing play out. But we do know based off of the Bible, I'm gonna go back to that. But the Lord said what? Let's go to the classic. Right? Let's go to the classic. This is Matthew 24, right? It's 6. Right? This Matthew 24 and 6, it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So the beginning of World War III is the beginning of the end, right? Or the middle of the end. And then at the height of World War III is the end of the end. And you're going to hear of these wars and rumors of wars and these threats and provocations, for a nation shall rise against nation. And eventually it's not just going to be talk. I know we go through these articles and we're doing the cold cuts and we're watching and we're hearing talk in Iran. They vow vengeance. They haven't done anything yet. Iran is going to do this to Iraq or Iran. Israel is going to do this to Iran, but they haven't done anything yet. China's going to shoot down this plane, but we yet to see. America's going to do this. So there's all of this talk, but eventually it's not going to be talk anymore. Most High's going to take the spirit of talking out the earth, and people are going to have to live by these words and stand on it. And the Most High is going to put the spirit of action on the earth and war and implementation of dropping bombs, man. For a nation shall, it didn't say might rise against nation. It says for a nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 46, right? Jeremiah chapter 51 and 46. It reads, "And lest your heart faint, and ye fear For the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. So you're going to have 1 year, they'll say we're going to destroy America. Next year, they're going to shoot down the plane. So you're going to have year by year. This is a buildup, right? The Most High is not just going to snap his fingers and you wake up in the kingdom. You're going to have a buildup of prophecy and tension, because you have to have tension. You have to have animosity and conflict to escalate into a situation that's irreversible. And that's what you see playing on right now, right? You see China and America really at their wits' end with one another. And we're hoping and banking that China actually lives up off of these words that they're saying, right? For people who may not know who Nancy Pelosi is, I'm not about to do an in-depth breakdown on Nancy Pelosi, right? But here she is. She's the Speaker of the House of Representatives, right? And they're warning them. China says they're going to shoot down that plane, right? We're going to shoot your plane down. She's on her way out anyway. She's from 82. I mean, she's 82 years old. From nasty Baltimore, man. You know? And she's one of the top Edomites in the government. So people are getting ready to see what's going on. Right? People are waiting to see what's going on. Now, I would like to see if they stand on this. No, because we're not about talk. We want to see this thing go down. Shoot the plane down. Do it. Press the button. Stop talking and just shoot it down, man. Now I'm getting mad. I want to call this guy the king of China and say, stop playing games. If I can speak whatever dialect of Chinese or they speak, I'll speak it, man. And I'll pick up the phone and I'll press the number on the live. I'll put them on speaker and I'll let you hear it. And we'll all tell them, and we'll bring brothers on the live. We'll send a link. Brothers can hop on, and every brother could tell them. I'm gonna say, look, I got these brothers and sisters. They want to tell you something, huh? And he'll say, and I'll put them on speaker, and brothers will tell them, stop playing games and press the damn button, man. Oh, but I don't really. Hey, shut up and shoot the plane down, and then we'll hang up the phone. You know. So they're talking, but we want to see if this thing is true. Now, let's go back into this. So they're talking, saying she landed in Hawaii. She's refueling, right? So she's on her way over there. We're going to see if she's really on her way over there. Like I said, I want to validate this site, right? Terror alarm. There's a lot of inside guys, whistleblowers, people providing information. Some of it's factual. You want to validate it. You want to corroborate it with multiple witnesses to see if this thing is true, but you have guys that are on the inside, man, tracking this stuff. China announces military exercise opposite of Taiwan. Let's see what else we got. Look at this. Nancy Pelosi will be taking a massive gamble with hashtag World War III potential if she flies to Taiwan in the next few days. This will leave China no option but to mobilize its air force. And that will be the beginning, most are willing, of World War III. I mean, what else can you do to start World War III besides shoot down an American political official? Shoot down an American political official with your Air Force. Now, America could be doing this to provoke China to start World War III, or they may not think China is really about it. When I say about, they may not think China's serious on these threats, But it's only one way to find out. Send a plane over there. We hope that this is true. Let me go back up a little bit. We hope that this is true. We hope, hold on. that really she landed in Hawaii for refueling. I want to actually see if that's true, man. Maybe after this live, I'll go back. I want to see if she's on her way over there. You know? They say flight radar activity is tracking her plane. Like I said, I don't know how true this is. I want to dig deeper into it. But that's the word going out right now. Right? They say she stopped in Hawaii and she's refueling, which means she's headed over there. Right? That means she's headed over there, but we want to see. Right? We're not just going to bank on that one little link. Right? Slocky, bear with me. Yeah, like, hey, push the button, man. Let's see what else we got. Okay, they got a drone. Like I said, we're going to be hitting this refresh button. If the military, these are just random, people talking about it, but they kind of know some things. If the military conflict between China and the U.S. is to happen due to Pelosi visit to Taiwan, then at its best, the U.S. will only be accompanied by Japan and maybe Australia. The NATO are focused with Russia at the moment. Biden's weakness caused this war, just like the war that would occur when China attacks Taiwan. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Let's pull this up. Right? China holds midnight drills. Oh, that's not what I want. I want their naval exercise. They literally just did an exercise. Oh, brother sent me this. Yep. Oh, you see that? Let's see if I can pull this up. Pull this up on the screen. So brothers are sending me stuff, right? I'm getting the hot information in from inside guys in WFI, right? Now, Mighty Brothers just sent this. All right, we got Mighty Brothers and WFI sending links, man. U.S. carrier group heads towards Taiwan as Pelosi flies to Asia. So this is it, man. She's headed over there. She's headed over there. And I believe that's true. Now they could come out and say, look, that's false news. Fact checkers are saying that never happened. This guy, he's just making that up. But I believe she's headed over there. They want to send a carrier group and they have the flight tracker. So if she's headed over there, we're hoping China does something. Just stop talking. Stop talking and make it happen. Right? Let's see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Right? The American aircraft carrier, USS Ronald Reagan, check that out. And Ronald Reagan, it's a damn devil, man. So it's fitting if this is the carrier to help start World War III. Right? So Salaki, I'm not able to pull it up on the screen. I got to show it off my phone. Right? The American aircraft carrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, and its strike group, including a guided missile destroyer and cruiser, set out from Singapore on Monday, heading toward the South China Sea and Taiwan. Uh-oh. I'm getting excited. Right? I'm getting excited. This thing, I'm on the edge of my seat. This is a beautiful Shabbat. Right? Call Yahweh. This is a beautiful Sabbath, man. A beautiful Sabbath. All right, let's read on. See what else we got, man. This deployment clearly linked to the planned highly provocative visit by the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan greatly heightens U.S. military and political tensions with China, which threatened to trigger a potentially catastrophic nuclear war. Didn't we read it in the Bible? Let the weak say, I am strong. Right? Despite warnings, I'm going to highlight this so brothers can see where we at. Despite warnings from Beijing, including by President, I believe that's Xi, I can't pronounce his name, Jinping, and public statements of reservation by the White House, Pelosi and other congressional representatives began an East Asian tour yesterday, deliberately leaving open the option of landing in Taiwan. According to the itinerary of Pelosi's Asia mission, as reported by U.S. media outlets, it includes Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, and Singapore, all seen as U.S. allies against China, with Taiwan listed as tentative. So we'll see if that tentative remains, sure or not. To fuel speculation, Pelosi has refused to answer reporters' inquiries about her Taiwan plans, saying on Wednesday, quote, "I never talk about my travel. It's a danger to me," unquote. That remark literally accuses China of being prepared to attack her mission, right? So, I want to see if this thing goes down, right? We would all like to see, let me get this light again, right? We would all like to see if this thing goes down. Let's go to the Bible, see what's going on right here, man, right? Let's open up the precepts. Let's get the classic. Obadiah 1, right? The Lord said, "An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise, let us rise up against her in battle." Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashmi Yahushai, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord. So that rumor that we're hearing, that we're seeing, ultimately is of the Most High. And an ambassador is sent among the heathen, who really, this is really speaking about the demons and the angels stirring up the minds of the people, of the heathen, to fight against the so-called white man. That's what it's really speaking about. Speaking about the Most High has spirits out there working on these global world leaders to finally stand up to the so-called white man and say, "I am strong." But even on a carnal level, Pelosi is an ambassador, and she's sent among the heathen. And now you have the heathen saying, "Arise, yea, let us rise up against her in battle." So this is prophecy. You have nations say, "Okay, you're sending your ambassadors out, you're sending your Congress. We're going to rise up against you in battle." So Obadiah 1:1 is about to go down. "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised." And nobody's more despised than Edomite politicians and other countries. Other countries call America the Great Satan, right? They call it the most demonic nation. You had a Moabite, I'm going to have to find a link, who came out and said the white man has to pay for his crimes. They say you have to pay. And I'll have to find that. It was posted not too long ago of the actual Chinese man saying America has to pay, right? Now let me go back to this. Let's hit this refresh button, right? We're going to hit this refresh button and see what's going on. All right, let's see what's going on with this refresh button. People are waiting to see what's going on. Right, bear with me. China closed the according to media, China closed the Taiwan Strait, continued to fire artillery and rocket launchers. We're going to see. They're saying China, we're going to see, like I said, everything I'm bringing out, we're going to have to get multiple witnesses. This is just real time. This is just me going through it. Some people are saying China opens fire. PLA holds live fire exercises opposite as Taiwan, as she begins her tour. And we're gonna be in this thing. All right, we're gonna keep watching. It's our job to watch and go to these multiple sites and sources and go to Endgame World War III and already happened and particular sites, end time headlines, and see if these things be true. Right? It's our job to watch. Right? Let's go to one of my favorite watching precepts, Isaiah the 21st chapter. We're going to be hitting this refresh button all day long and scrolling and seeing what's happening, so we can let people know World War III has begun or on the rise. Right? Isaiah chapter 21:6. For thus saith the Lord unto me, go set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. So the job of a watchman, he has to declare what he sees. When we see World War III happening, or any new event that arises that may start World War III or lead up to it, or anything that may affect our people in terms of political uprising, martial law, legislation being signed, or anything, it's our job to report the matter. That's the job of a watchman. Right? Go into the prophecies, see what the Most High is going to do on the earth, pay attention to the global events, and warn our people about the destruction that draws down the earth. And the Lord said, let him declare what he seeth. Because what good is a watchman if he holds on to the information by himself? What good is a watchman to see cavalry, archers, infantry approaching the city walls and just holds it in to himself and saves himself? And well, ultimately, if you have the mentality like that, that guy's going to be destroyed, you know? And it's up to the people to take heed to the watchmen, right? And I'm not speaking strictly on WW3. I'm speaking about the men of the Lord in Israel, man, who are set up by Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, to warn the people of the impending danger, right? Verse 7. So what did the watchman see? And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen, a chariot of asses, and a chariot of camels, and he hearkened diligently with much heed. So he saw war coming. When you see a chariot of horsemen and asses, it's not a time for feasting and mirth. That's a time of destruction. And he's hearkening diligently. Okay, that sounds like 10 camels, 50 horsemen. That's the Babylonians. Okay, no, that looks like the Assyrians. Based off of the technology, no, that's the Cushites. The Cushites are coming. So he's kind of paying attention. He's dialed in. He's focused. That's how we are, man. We're hitting this refresh button. We're scrolling. We're looking up multiple sites. We're going to different damn inside guys, and we're hearkening diligently with much heed. And he cried a lion. I mean, he cried out like a lion. My Lord, I stand continually upon a watchtower in the daytime, and am set in my ward whole nights. So he stands continually as destruction draws nigh on the earth, you know? So let's see if we can get some, let's check out end time headlines, right? I'm gonna pull that up. So bear with me. I'm gonna check about maybe 3 sites while we here and see what we can find. Right? The brother said pull up the live war map. Right, we're gonna pull it up. We're gonna try to get as much as we can. Like I said, I know I'm pressed for time, and we may go into this on the Sabbath service, right? You know, we may not, right? Because this is real live events, man. Right, real live events. Right, so bear with us as and people are worried about the mega millions. Right, okay, worried about who's going to win the mega million. Right, who's going to win the lotto? Right, we're not worried about who's going to win the lottery, man. Right, it's lucky. Bear with me, brothers are sending me stuff, and I'm gonna try to pull it up. All right, we're gonna pull it up, and we're gonna kind of get into this thing, man. All right, so bear with us. Okay, let me see if this is relevant. All right, we're gonna see if this is relevant and kind of go into this thing, man. So Most High willing, that plane lands and they just shoot it down. Right? Okay, all right. From terror alarm. Yep. All right. So this is from one of the brothers in the cap. Mighty Officer Casadia, WF5 Philly Jersey. Right? Last thing the brother sent me stuff from the Greensboro camp. WFI, Philly, Jersey, Baltimore. So here's some footage, right, of China's military. So I want to see if I can actually show this on the screen, right? This is real life. We're like reporters through the spirit, man. And Fox News, they're not going to show you this. Right? Let me get this right. Hold on. Bear with me. So be patient. And I want to be able to pull this up so brothers can see what's going on. All right. Bear with me. All right. So check this out. I'm trying to get this all situated. So this is from Terror Alarm. More footage of China's military on the Taiwan Strait. Right, it's kind of not clear, but you can see them doing their drills. So they're going to meet. Yeah, you see that? It's kind of vague. You know, you kind of trying to make out what's going on, but what you're looking at is military drills. You're looking at certain explosions, artillery fire, live in the middle of the night as Nancy Pelosi makes her tour. That's what you're looking at. I know it's hard. I don't know what I'm seeing. Well, that's what it is, right? See that? It is. China did a rare live fire exercise. All ships. Now, remember, we just brought out that the USS Ronald Reagan is on their way over there. They're literally on their way over there. And China is saying, don't come over here. We're doing live military drills. And if you get caught up in this thing, you get caught up in it. All ships are prohibited during real ammunition training and local territorial waters of Pingtan, Fujian. Right? Sina reported on July 29th that Fujian Pingtan Maritime Safety Administration issued a navigation warning on the 29th. From 8 to 9 p.m. on July 30th, the waters of Yigyu, Pingtan, Fujian carrying out real ammunition training missions, and all ships are prohibited from entering. Nancy Pelosi's plane to Asia took off Friday, so she's on her way over there. She left yesterday. And the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier battle group also returned to the South China Sea. The U.S. military has also arranged a protective circle for Pelosi. Will it go off the fire with the CCP, meaning the Chinese Communist Party? So everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody's trying to figure out if this thing, is this really going to happen, man? Is it really going to hit the fan or not? Right? Like I said, we're going to keep watching this Shabbat and see how the Mosai is going to have things play out, Lord willing. Later in the day, we get some great news and we find out that they shot the plane down and Nancy Pelosi is dead and that America will reply. Right? Lord willing, we get something like that, man. So I'm just kind of just doing some freelance scrolling. Right? So you got to go. So like I said, I want to do a video on how to watch Terror Alarm, Endgame World War III, Live War Map, End Time Headlines, WW3, 007. What's another one, man? I mean, you have many sites that you can go on that show you what's happening in World War III. Right? Like I said, they say she stopped to refuel in Hawaii, and she'll be back on her way headed to Taiwan. Right? So what we're going to see, play it by ear, keep watch. But with that, I'm going to have to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashima Masha Kuma like Yahushua. Most High willing you are edified. Keep the Sabbath holy. No buying, no selling, no sex, no pleasure, no speaking your own words, no doing your own thing. Be clean on the Sabbath. Again, Kwam Yashala, Shalom.